Alright, well, I got software update 2018.42.2. Do a little demonstration here. We have a spot of road here. Going to have an on-ramp and 3 interchanges here coming up in the next, 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to go on a little drive. So you can see now, Navigate on Autopilot is now installed with the new update, and typically you can start on an on-ramp and then let it go. It'll merge for you and everything. There's no real cars coming in right now to merge with, so it's going to be pretty simple. But I mean, it's really smooth doing that. I'm going to confirm this lane change to the left. You can do it with the cruise stock or the blinker. It's going to want us to do another lane change. I'm not sure why, because you can still get to where we're going from this lane as well. But see, when it wants to follow a route and you don't respond to the lane change cues, it give you a little beep, kind of reminder. But here's our first little interchange. Doing well. Let's go ahead and have it change lanes because it apparently wants us to do that. I'm guessing it knew eventually we were going to need to get over a lane anyways, because I believe the lane to the right goes away up on the next exit, or it merges in someplace later. But anyways, I have it on Mad Max mode, which, let me up the speed here. It didn't really adjust for the speed limit. So Mad Max mode is supposed to be the most aggressive of the 3 Navigate on Autopilot features. So we'll see what it does here heading into downtown. In some of my previous videos, this is the same route I've taken in those. So it'd be kind of nice to see the similarities or differences in how everything goes here. Hasn't prompted to do any lane changes yet. I'm not sure why it didn't just a couple seconds ago. It might be because the next interchange is only 1.75 miles away, so maybe it doesn't want to deal with it. We're already on the planned route, so a little slowdown isn't going to be a big deal. I really want to see a car merge in here from the right at some point, just to see how it anticipates other cars coming in. Haven't really had that opportunity yet since the software update. This is day 2 for me with it. Drove all over the Bay Area yesterday, and it did pretty well. I mean, you can ignore the lane change prompts, which is nice. I know once they turn it off and make it automatic, that might be annoying for some people if you don't agree with how aggressive or how cautious it is when it comes to lane changes. I know there was a couple times where I just ignored it because I didn't feel like it was the right move in that situation. Changing lanes for a momentary gain when you can see up ahead that there was more semi-trucks or other slower traffic going on. So it'd be interesting to see how they do that when they take the automatic, no needing to confirm the lane changes live. This car just bolted right in there, and it handled it pretty well. I'm holding it, thank you. Sometimes it is a little rough when cars bolt in. It's getting better, and I can see that they're focusing on safety. So but I could see that being a point of improvement. You know, cars go in front of you. You know, anticipation. I think I've said it multiple times. Being able to anticipate, and that's holy moly, that car is so loose. Being able to anticipate what other cars are doing, it's going to be that's probably one of the hardest tasks to tackle with the autopilot system. I would imagine. It's adjusting speed here down to 50 now. I know last time it did not adjust back up once we got onto the main highway again after the interchange. So we'll see how it goes. Other than that, it's navigating it fairly smoothly. It's pretty conservative when it comes to speed right here. I mean the traffic's kind of warranting that too as well, but you can go around that corner at a good 55 safely, maybe 50, 55, somewhere in there. But thankfully we're in the middle of the day right now, and traffic isn't going to be crazy, so it should make things a whole lot easier. And at the same time, they might not show off the capabilities as well. So we'll see what happens. So far, it's smooth sailing. And this time it did update the speed setting once we got on the main part of the highway. So I know in the last video where I was coming through this section, it pretty much stayed at 40 the whole time. So that's a good improvement. It's recognizing, hey, we're on the freeway now. We're not on the on-ramp anymore. So it's good to make that distinction. We'll see if it does it here on the third interchange we're going on. And I'm going to stay right in this lane because there's going to be a fork in the road coming up here. Alright, coming up on the fork where we have a choice to go Reno East, Fresno South. See what it does. It's putting the blinker on. It's making the decision. It's cut that corner a little bit to the right. It adjusted, fixed itself. Did pretty good. Speed's down at 55. I'm not going to change lanes into this faster lane because up here you can see the sign that says right lane ends. That would be completely pointless. So we're just going to stay here and ignore it. And it'll eventually go away, which it did. And of course you can still initiate lane changes. You don't have to completely rely on navigate on autopilot to do everything. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I will rely entirely on Navigate on Autopilot just to see what it will do. I know it knows it needs to get over to the left. There we go. There's a car in our blind spot a little bit, and we just went right on in front of it. It wasn't too close, but it was a little more aggressive than I'm used to when we're changing lanes. So that was you can see right there. Mad Max mode right there. And then we're going to get behind this truck. Let's do one more. I really don't like following a truck this close. Thank you. Here we go. Very smooth lane changes. Let's see how the car reacts with this truck riding that line a little bit. Really care. So we just navigated 3 interchanges from Onramp, and we're cruising on the highway now, and it did well. It didn't no hiccups. My exit's going to be in about 5.5 miles. We can go over some other things that I've maybe noticed so far on this version of Autopilot. Might be a little tough to make certain situations happen with the traffic so light today, but we'll see what happens. It does seem, even more sure of itself, especially in once it does get over into the lane when it's changing. It's very sure of the car it's following, and it doesn't mess around with getting up to speed, especially on Navigate on Autopilot. It gets over, and you can tell it's a bit more aggressive now, which is a good improvement. Before it was pretty conservative. It didn't want to, safety was the biggest part of the whole thing. Now it's trying to maybe make the drive a little more human-like, make it a little more efficient, get somewhere faster, so little improvements here and there. One thing I didn't cover, I noticed this last update also, once version 9 was just released, when you increase the speed by just 1, like this, in the past you could feel it kind of give the car a little bump, just like on most cruise controls in any car. You give it a bump up, you'll feel it kind of bump up. Now it takes, I don't know, a good 10 seconds for it to go that 1 mile an hour. If you go 5, you'll feel it, increase quite a bit. But if you go down by 1, it's still, let's see here, 74, now 73, let's see how long it takes. It's very slowly going down. Maybe not 10 seconds, but maybe 5-ish. And you don't really feel it. You don't really feel it at all when you're going down by just 1, which is really nice if you're making, small adjustments to how fast you want to go. I mean, you don't want to be jerking the car back and forth all the time when you're adjusting your speed. So we got 2.8 miles left. It's going to want us to get over into the left lane, so let's go for it. And then we'll see, we'll watch it do some work, trying to get over 4 lanes to exit, because it immediately wants to get over. So we'll see how that goes. It'll be interesting. And there's the beat that just reminded me. We have a biker basically right on my right hip, so I'm not going to change lanes now. So once we pass that car, I like to wait to initiate the lane change until I'm at least even or a little bit ahead of the car. I know a lot of, if you do it right when it says it is, it can sit there for who knows how long until it's clear. And then, that's just you to me again. I got to get over. Leaving your, blinker on while it's not clear forever might, that might be a little annoying to other drivers. Like, hey, what are you doing? Make an effort to get over. So I like to wait, even though it does bug me sometimes, or it nags me or reminds me to change lanes. I feel it's a better practice to do it that way, and maybe they can implement that, at some point, where it'll be aware of the traffic around you before it initiates a lane change, so it's not annoying to anybody. But here we are coming up on the exit here. We can exit from both lanes. I know you can exit from this one, so we'll see if it wants us to get over one or if it'll actually get off from here too. And I'm assuming this bus is going to bump up. There it is. Kind of a late reaction, but still an improvement over the past. And even now, it still wants us to go into the faster lane, even on an exit, so we'll see. But here we go, the 2 exit lanes. We chose to stay in this one, and it worked. There we go. So Navigate on Autopilot just turned off. Still have Autopilot on. I'm going to see what happens. Let it go a little bit. It's starting to slow down a little bit. You heard the brake there. But there you go. Typically, you just turn it off there and cruise on up to your stop, and that's it. I mean, it did a really, really good job.